Problem 28 says graph the inequality. It's a linear inequality because it involves an x and a y raised to the first power, so I want to put it in slope-intercept form in order to be able to graph it. That means I'm going to solve for y. So I subtract 3x, and that gives me 4y is less than negative 3x plus 12. Then I divide by 4, trying to get y alone. And that gives me y is less than negative 3 over 4x plus 3. I did not change the direction of my inequality because I did not multiply or divide across it by a negative, so I kept the direction of my inequality. So now I'm going to start out graphing this just like I was graphing a line. I start with my y-intercept. That's my b, that's my y-intercept. I put a dot at 3 on the y-axis. This is my m, or my slope. So from that point on the y-axis, I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and I go right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my other point. Of course, I could have also gone up 3, 1, 2, 3, and left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be on the same line, of course. You don't have to do both of them, but I like that extra security of knowing my line's going to be relatively straight. So now, before I graph my line, you have to remember this is an inequality, so I have to decide whether to draw a solid line or a broken line. It's less than but not equal to, so that means the points on the line aren't included, and I indicate that with a broken line. Remembering to put arrows at both ends because lines go on to infinity in both directions. Okay, now the next thing I have to decide is whether I'm going to shade above or below the line. I look at it and say it's a less than sign, and a less than sign tells me to shade below. Now, I could also have picked a point not too close to the graph and plugged it in, and if it was true, that would be the area shaded, and if it wasn't, that would not be. So if I pick the point right here, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 0, I'm going to make that a test point, and I'm going to plug it into my equation. So I have, and I'm going to go back to my original equation, 3 times negative 1 plus 4 times 0, is that less than 12? 3 times negative 1 is 3, 4 times 0 is 0. Is negative 3 less than 12? Yes. So that means since that point is in the area I shaded, and it turned out to be true, I shaded the correct side. There you go.